Kirti Madam, my dear friend Sharan, who is your teacher, uh, and I'm also happy to see my own student of my B.Ed, when I was teaching B.Ed in B.Ed college, teacher Gitali. I have been in this institution for the first time, and when I entered, I could feel that positive vibes in this institution. That means that I could see the way you all have been sitting here so disciplined manner. Small thing was happening, but still the teachers, one intervention could resolve it without any issue. Sharan and we have been students together. We have been friends, passionate during our B.Ed college training. We both passed out from C.G.M's B.Ed college as teacher. We have completed our teacher training from the institution. We were part of similar group, cultural group. We were together for community work or otherwise. We were in the same group. Fortunately, we were divided into 4 groups, different houses like Gandhi and other houses. So we are part of one of the houses. Gitali, who has been my student, and I think she is doing, when I was listening to her, not she was talking about, reading about me, but the way, the confidence which she has today, she was saying when she was student doing her B.Ed course, in the same manner. She was an excellent student, or rather, excellent teacher then and now also. Going ahead, when I was talking to Sharan, what I should be speaking on, he said like, okay, students should be understanding the importance of NSS, and probably I should also give them kind of insight, what are the things that you will get in once you join NSS. Let me just give a brief of few things. I would share some of my life experiences which are not from, which are not just hypothetical, but yes, those are things which I faced, and rather that will give you some insights what NSS can give you or otherwise. We are in 2023. I passed out my 12th standard in 2004, probably 19 years back. 2002 I passed my 10th standard, and then I did my 12th science in 2004. Imagine 2004 and 2023, where you are, the kind of education in terms of kind of resources, kind of infrastructure that time, 19 years back, and today is totally different, and that is where we differ. The invention of lot of technological interventions, lot of other things that have come into teaching process, learning process has changed the scenario of learning and teaching too. So when I look at NSS or you as a student, see, I always believe, when I was teaching in a B.Ed college also, I always taught them one thing: you may be an extraordinary teacher. It does not impress me much. You may be an extraordinary 100 out of 100. You may be 100%, 99.9% student. Does not impress me much. But what impresses me much is are you a good human being? One teacher has to be good human being. You may be extraordinary in terms of academics. You may be extraordinary in terms of your all other achievements. But if you at the same time you are not good human being, then I don't get impressed that much. A teacher has to be a good human being. And I'm sure in the institute we have great teachers who touches you with those human touch that is required for a student to develop. Now when I come to NSS, let me just give one example. When I traveled to Bhopal for my master, that is the first time I was supposed to step out of the state for some education purpose. I never went out of Goa for studying. That was the time I traveled all the way to Bhopal, a scenario where I saw 46-degree temperature and 1 degree, or even sometimes a temperature as low as 0. Different people, 7 state students, 7 states culture, like Goa, where I studied is a zone, western zone. When I went, I am the only one who went from Goa, and other states like Gujarat, Maharashtra, Chhattisgarh, Daman, Diu, Dadra, Nagar Haveli, and all those students we were studying together. I was a part of NSS in my college. I did all 3 years of camping, I did all activities. I'll just give an example. When I'm giving this example, I'll tell you. And what helped me. So one by one, we're trying to understand how NSS can help you. When I went there, everybody was different state, different culture, different people, different thought process, different language. You know, when you are around like this, and I was supposed an introvert, I was supposed not part of any of the social group, not NSS or otherwise, I think I would not have learned some qualities. And what are those qualities which you get by joining NSS? Number one. Number one is you learn to be socially, you understand social dimensions. You understand what society is. You understand how to live in with different people. You understand what are the dimensions that we need to take care when we are in society. That is the first thing you understand. You understand social structure. If you come to the school, you will be with the parents and with the school and then go back. That will not teach you the dimension of society, which you need to understand. So with NSS, what we do is that we go out to the community, we do some social work, we take up some tasks, we work for the society. That gives us some kind of satisfaction that we don't get otherwise. So when I come to the school, I study, I go for tuitions, go back home, I study, come back. That does not give an insight of what is our society, which you need to know as a student. So NSS is a platform which gives you insights of what are the dimensions of society. That is the first thing you will get by joining NSS. See, I'll tell you, when teachers come for a B.Ed college, joining as a teacher trainee, they come to do B.Ed, they are raw. Literally I'm telling you, when I was a student, when I went into the college, I was raw. I didn't understand what is psychology, I didn't know what is sociology, I didn't know what is philosophy. But when I passed out from the B.Ed college, I was a different man. I was a different person. That is what will happen. You compare yourself. There was a beautiful study done by one of the researchers who was doing under MA education. He had compared students' understanding about society and otherwise of students who were part of NSS and who were not part of the NSS. Beautiful findings were, came out that students who were part of the NSS had better understanding of what society is, what is brotherhoodness, what was the leadership understanding was better in NSS. So what you understand by joining NSS is first thing is society. Now society कशें कळपाक आमी घरान वतात आवय बापूय आनी टिचर इतलेच आमचो वर्ल्ड it should be expanded by way of activities like NSS. So what is society? Second is you understand to be a leader. You are given different responsibility. Leadership qualities will be enhanced, developed. Charan sir was saying just now. If I could speak here, there was suppose there is a crowd of a crore people or 1 lakh people, 2 lakh people, I can speak. You just tell me to speak on something, I will be able, because I have gone through a process of socialization. I have gone through a process of NSS. I have been part of a lot of social groups. That has given me this confidence what I have today standing in front of you. If I was just an academician, if I was just an academic student, and that's it, my 90%, 95%, there are people in this society who have 95%, 99%, but they don't have that much confidence to come on the stage and talk or say 2 words. Why? Because in the process of learning, in academic career, they never socialize themselves. They never understood what is around them apart from academic. So, second thing what I have done, leadership. You will be a leader. Tomorrow you will pass out, you will join college, you will be a graduate, you will be postgraduate, you will go into, maybe you may be a politician, you may be like I am in civil service. Sharan sir was saying that I joined my civil service in 2016. Last 7 years I have been part of 14 departments. So 14 different understanding I have to go. When I joined civil service, if I was not part of NSS or otherwise, I would not have understood what is the society about. What I learned that time is helping me to do better administration today. So leadership qualities will develop. Third thing, we are from different groups. We belong to different community, we belong to different religion, we belong to different societal setup. We may be from a family which is not that rich, or maybe we may be from family which has different financial background. What NSS teaches you, come together, work in teamwork, how to work with the differences. I may be an intellectual person, you may be not intellectual, or otherwise, whatever, vice versa is also possible. But when you come together as a group, you go for camps, you stay for 8 days or 7 days. What you understand is to live with the differences. is to cope up, is to accommodate, is to adjust. That is what I did when I went to Copa. So a lot of these qualities which I had imbibed when I was learning process. So when I went to Copa, different people, different setup, different living conditions, different temperature setups, different teachers, different environment. Why I could adjust is only because I had gone through this process. I was part of campaigns. I had gone for a lot of society works, lot of other NSS camp works, lot of during COVID times NSS students did excellent work. Lord, I was part of state disaster team during I was deputy collector Revenue N.Goa district that time, and I was in charge of IC, that is Information Communication education program. So that time lot of NSS volunteers came in to help people. From where this came? They got this opportunity only through NSS. I'll tell you, when we fought with COVID as officers or as a deputy collector or collector, we fought a world war. It was never less than a world war. Today we see COVID was nothing but first phase, second phase, probably third phase. It was not less than a world war. So those NSS volunteers who are part of the COVID management or COVID fighting, they will always remember whole life. And the amount of pressure they have taken up during that time, they have seen people, seen people suffering. This kind of learning will make you better person. This kind of learning will make you strong person. You have seen people dying. You have seen people suffering. You have seen people how they have suffered during this time. And this work was also done by NSS volunteers. So what did you get? You may not get a lot of money out of it. You will not get a lot of things, but you will get something which money also cannot buy. Societal understanding, leadership qualities. You will understand differences of people. See, there is a lot of people in a classroom. There are a lot of people in classroom. You may not like, but when you go in a group, when you join an NSS group or a campsite, you go for 8 days, you do a lot of work in the society, you go for cleaning activities or other activities. What we learn is learn to live with differences. That's more important. Society is not same. We live in a heterogeneous society. There are different people, different mindset, different attitude. We need to cope up with this. If you expect that people should be like me, then you are not going to be in a society where you want it to be. People will be different, situations will be different. So I think NSS, you get to learn all this. Very, very important, which I look at NSS as a platform is national integration. A small child, kid from the school, can be a tall leader tomorrow who will look at the nation progressing. Today you are in 12th standard, tomorrow you will be someone who is controlling the entire nation. It could be you who can be turned into a scientist, then who will look into major issues of the nation. So it is not just that. National integration, again, here you learn a lot of things. I was listening to a report of Sharan sir, what he was reading. You have taken care of societal tendencies. Many are there. Today, generation is going through a different kind of societal setup, which was not there 19 years back. When I was studying, I think probably this kind of societal tendencies were not there, because that time there was not lot of competitions, or probably there was not invasion of technology or otherwise. Today you are facing lot of problems. You all are going through a phase called as adolescent phase. Lot of things will happen, bodily changes will take place, lot of mental things will change, lot of your thought process will change. So this is a phase. To control that thought process, it's very important, and it is only through such kind of interventions we can tackle. A child is suffering, suppose, from anxiety, frustrations. How to tackle? When only you will be part of lot of group, you are an extrovert. You know what is extrovert and introvert? In psychology, we call it introvert and extrovert. Introvert is someone who is always with himself, not getting mixed, class, school, home. Only that is what his life is. Those people will always, I am not saying they will not be successful, but they will always have a problem tomorrow when they will be part of the larger society. Because they always have been part of introvert life. You need to be an extrovert. Why extrovert? So that you understand people. Otherwise you will never understand people. You will understand society, you understand the environment as a whole. If you don't do that, or always remain an introvert, you will end up having no friends. You will end up having no societal bonding. You will end up having no other connections with the society which you need to have. We live in a society which is created by whom? We have created the society. We say, okay, he is doing wrong, that person is doing wrong. We see a lot of crimes happening. Why? Who has created this society? We have created this society. And who are responsible for such society? We. Unless until we don't bring that change, society won't change. I know we cannot change the entire thing in one go, but yes, we can be smallest molecule of that societal change. That is you. You are, don't just think that okay, I will do 2 years of NSS and nothing I will achieve. No. Take it from me. Whatever you learn in these 2 years of NSS, it may not give you high scores. Fine. Okay with me. But it will teach you something which is more precious than getting high scores. Take it from me. I am telling you. Whatever you learn, but you have to learn properly. You have to understand. See, when you see your teacher, you have to learn. I learned small things from my each and every teacher. I remember one teacher at each stage, maybe pre-primary, school, higher secondary, college, and so on. So everyone must have one role model. When you work with teachers, when you are on field, you need to learn. Learn from your peers. Be surrounded by good peers. Very, very important. In my entire journey of academic career or otherwise till now, I got very good friends. Very, very good friends. Friends whose peer group effect was very, very, positive on me. You have to choose your friends properly. Now that doesn't mean you go back to the class and leave your some friends. No. I mean to say, basically you need to identify your surrounding. You will be known like that. Suppose I have friends of one category, I'll be labeled like that. Suppose I smoke, I drink, and my peers also smoke, drink, and other activities. Then you will be also labeled, or you will be also part of such peer group effect. Fortunately, I never had such friends. I never had such friends in my entire academic journey who are part of some bad habits. So you need to be also understanding yourself to understand society better. If you are surrounded by friends who are part of bad habits, those habits will be imbibed by you in near future. So choose your peer group properly. Just to share one example with you, when I was in higher secondary, I'll just give an example. We probably the way you all mix together today, the boys, girls, in 19 years back, it was not like this. Let me just share with you. When we were like the way the peer group bondings are there now, it was not the way today, 19 years back. But when I went to college, that was the first time I was stepping out from my village. I studied my schooling in my village school, primary schooling, everything is my village school. But when I step out for the first time in the city school, I did my higher secondary education from years higher secondary. That time was a time I tried to understand where we are. We need to understand your own understanding, like, okay, I need to have friends. I need to understand what they do. I need to have good peer group. I need to understand how to be in the society, how to get adjusted in the society. These are the things you will learn here. Don't expect you to learn at the age of 21 or 23. Nothing will change. Once you are 21 years of age or 22 years, nothing will change. You will remain same and will die same. Nothing will change in you. No change. Is very difficult to bring change post 21 or 22. It is very difficult psychologically. It is very difficult unless until you go in some kind of courses, some kind of special understanding. Otherwise, what you will be at the age of 21 will end up in a similar thought process. Take it from me. I am not saying this is research-based thought process. Suppose you are something at the age of 21 or 22 with those thoughts, you will end up with the same thoughts. Very rare thought change will take place. I am sure most of the teachers will agree. After 21, body also stops developing, and nothing changed much unless until you are changed by societal output. Suppose you are placed, I'll tell you. For example, if you take our nation, India, and if you take, I am not naming other countries, a country where terrorism is not a bad thing, but for us that value is bad. Killing is good in other countries. Some countries, there are countries where, okay, they don't mind killing someone, but in our country it is crime. So, value systems are different at different places. So, NSS will also teach you what is being good, why we should be good. good citizen will create good society, and good society will create good nation. So you will be the pillars of nation through NSS. I am sure you will learn. I think you are lucky one to be part of NSS. I am not here that other groups or other courses are not good, but I am telling you, NSS has given a lot of inputs to me when I was part of NSS, or otherwise I have learned a lot. For the first time I went for a camp. I never stayed out of the house. Camp for the first time I stayed with my peers, with my teachers, and understood how it makes you feel like without your staying away from your parents, and that has helped me to stay further without my parents in a further academic learning. So don't think you are just joined. Don't just join. Learn as much as you can. You have to learn as much as you can. See, I always feel, whenever I feel low, no, I always tell these 4 lines to me. My Hindi is not as good as Sharan sir. He is an excellent speaker of Hindi. But these 4 lines I tell myself. What are those 4 lines? जिंदगी के कहीं इम्तियां अभी बाकी हैं. You are very small at the moment. You are small in sense you are just in 12th standard. जिंदगी के कहीं इम्तियां अभी बाकी हैं. जिंदगी की असली उड़ान अभी बाकी है. जिंदगी की असली कई इम्तियां अभी बाकी हैं. जिंदगी की असली उड़ान अभी बाकी है. अभी तो आपकी सिर्फ मुट्ठी भर जमीन, आगे सारा जहां बाकी है. So for you have just I would have said achieved this much. It's a long way to go, and how to achieve that long way is not only academics. Let me tell you, my dear friends, it is not only the expertise in the or an excellence in academics will make you something. No. When I did my 10th standard, that time 64 or 60% was great thing. Today 99% also not have any value. 95% also if you get 30 parents says, oh 95 only 4% would have got 4% more. 12th standard 60% during our time, 65% during our time was something great, because 2004, 19 years back, that percentage was itself was great percentage. But today, even if you get 95, it is still less. Why? Because expectations have been risen to that level that it cannot be achieved also sometimes. So I respect academics, I respect the percentage, but that percentage does not turn into a good human being and good societal contribution. Then there is no value to the education. Let me just give you an example. Recently I was reading a news, and in that news one doctor, very highly qualified doctor, well-known doctor, he was involved to a kind of brackets where the body parts of human beings were part, some wrong practices. How does that education help the society? How does your excellence in the medical field help the society? No. So that's the reason I'm saying being good human being is more important than just having the academic excellence. So NSS is an area you will be learning to be good human beings. It is not just that you will be part of some NSS ले लिया अभी चलो कुछ करना है 2 साल को शरण सर ने क्लास में आके कुछ बोल दिया होगा ओरिएंटेशन में तो इसलिए लिया. No. Each and every individual has to take back. Use yourself, assess. When I joined 11th standard NSS, when I passed out 12, was there any difference in terms of what I am today because I have taken NSS? Assess. Introspect. You have to introspect what you have achieved. Just because Sharan sir has told, or maybe other teachers have told, I have joined NSS, no. Or there was no option, no. You have to be, learning each and every phase. That must not be kind of, okay, I have just joined because I was told, no, I was not supposed to join. Then you never learn anything. If you have joined with kind of breach, or you have some kind of restrictions, then it may not work. So please take your NSS course as not an academic study, but your individual development, personality development, societal aspects you understand. I don't know how many of you have gone and I don't know how much was your contribution during COVID times. You might have worked or otherwise, or maybe other societal programs or any other projects which are being run by the government for the welfare of the society. I don't know how many times you go and contribute, but that is the one which will make you. Let me tell you one thing very honestly. When I go to the office and I leave office, when I go back home, I ask myself whether I have worked to that level this whole day whether I have contributed something which will benefit the society or I have worked. If I am not satisfied, it disturbs me. In terms of if I have not worked today, I have just gone to the office and come back, then it disturbs me a lot. If I have not worked, so what I am saying, you will get a kind of satisfaction when you contribute to the society. Don't expect anything in return. Don't expect anything in return. Don't do things. If you are doing things expecting something, then those are like business terms. If you are doing something for the society, do it. We are not politicians. We don't expect anything from the society. So you do things, things will come back to you. You always believe whatever you do will come back to you in some or the other form. Believe in this. Whatever good you do to the society, or whatever good you do to other person, that will come back to you one or the other form. That's the truth. That is unseen truth. You will always get it back. I believe in this policy, or I believe in this thought process. So today there was an installation. Now this installation or otherwise should continue, and you should have lot many other activities. You get to go, I was talking to Sharan sir, there is a national integration camp, please go for it. Last year, a group of people go, they compete with the nation, they win the prizes, and you also get to understand the entire country's thought process, cultural activities, go for it. There is a program which is run by Ministry of Youth Affairs, Government of India, where hiking is done, trekking is done, you are taken for mountaineering courses. Whenever these opportunities come, please go for it. This will develop a different kind of thought process in you. I'll tell you, before I went to Bhopal, I always felt that I am very good in something. There was less competition in Goa. When I was studying in Goa, I always felt it because for me, this was the world. Goa was the world. But when I went out, I competed with the 7 states. That enhanced my level. Why? Because then I started competing with someone who is better than who is in Goa. You are getting what I am saying? Sometimes you have to explore the world. Otherwise, always you believe, no, मेरा world तो यही है, यही मेरी दुनिया है. No. When I went out, I realized that I have to accelerate, or maybe I will lift my competition level, and that is how I got into civil service. I got my lot. As of today, I never failed in any of the competitive exams. As of today, whatever exams are, I think the reason was exposure. Reason was not only academics, not only getting good marks in chemistry, physics, or otherwise, or any art subject. Reason was, I think I was part of everything. If you come to my house, you will see my one room filled of trophies and medals and certificates and number. Still I could succeed in my academics. People have wrong notion, wrong conception that those who are part of non-curricular activities, that is co-curricular activities, they will not do well in academics. No, I would rather say ulta. Those who are part of all these activities will also excel in the academics. Only you should know how to balance your life. You should know in balancing your life. Okay, I need to spend some time. Forget your social media, forget your WhatsApp, forget your Facebook and Insta for this time, and think for better future. I tell you, I can surely tell, I can be proud of myself that next whatever number of years I have, I will be somewhere. I will be doing very well. Why? Because I have struggled for last 25-30 years. You are getting what I am saying? You want to be someone in your life, you have to struggle now. Struggle does not mean go to the field and do farming or dig the road or something. Struggling means learn to sacrifice. In my life, I have done 3 Ds. What are those 3 Ds? I am not talking from something book. I have done this. In my entire journey, I have done these 3 Ds. I always believe that is the formula I applied to my life. First D was discipline. Being disciplined. Now, being disciplined means only when Sharan sir tells you to keep quiet. No. When nobody is watching you, you are quiet. That is the discipline I want to see in you. When I am watching you quiet, that's not the discipline I am looking for. Discipline cannot be taught. Discipline has to be self. You have to be understanding that by yourself. When nobody is watching, you are on the ground, and you are not uttering bad words. That's the discipline. When I am there, you are not uttering bad words. That is understood. That is controlled discipline. I don't want. So first discipline is not keeping quiet. Discipline in whatever you do. Your mother has given you sweeping of the house. Do it with that discipline. Just don't do tak. Any work you do in your life, anything you are eating, eat with discipline. I am not talking about the classroom discipline. Anything you do in your life, first component of your success should be discipline, and second is determination. I want to be someone, I want to be doctor, I want to be lawyer, I want to be a civil service, I want to be a collector, I want to be an IAS officer. Be determined, just don't dream. You have to determine. Without determination, nothing can be achieved. Let me tell you very frankly, अगर मैं रात को, I just think, okay, tomorrow I have to become an IAS officer. No, you have to work for years, work for months, and then you will achieve something. And third D, you can plug it with fourth D also. Either devotion or dedication, both go together. You have to be devoted. You have to be dedicated in whatever you do. Whatever you do, smallest to smallest thing you do, be devoted, be dedicated to what you are doing. If you follow these 4 D's in your life, I think lot of things. Whenever you do something wrong, ask yourself whether I am disciplined, I am determined, I am okay. You are given some project or you are given some assignment by your teacher, and doing that assignment, you are copying and pasting. Ask yourself, am I doing this rightly, wrongly? If it is wrong, don't do it. Question yourself. Recently, I have just to inform you, just to share with you, I did my PhD on very important aspect of human behavior. Probably not my studies that I have submitted my thesis. Probably next month it will be awarded. I have done my PhD from N.Goa. What I studied that day, I must share with you. If 5 minutes are there, I will just share with you. What I have studied, and this is an important aspect for teachers as well as students. I have studied 2 components of human being. One is what you do in the classroom, problem behavior. Problem behavior. Now, problem behavior has nothing to do with the what I'm saying, something to do with genetics or otherwise. No, disability wala nahi. Common problem behaviors. So, listed out common problem behaviors and why teacher fails to handle this problem behavior. So, one is that I have studied the level of metacognition. Everybody knows cognition. Cognition is just thought process. Metacognition is thinking about thinking. Cognition everybody knows. I have studied metacognition. Metacognition is what? Thinking about thinking. If I thought, my thought is what? Okay, I want to kill him. Suppose I say I want to kill him. That's a thought. That's a cognition. But if you, at that moment, if you could think, thinking about thinking, why, what will happen, then you will not do that crime. Many of the things, I just give an example. Otherwise, you want to do copying in the classroom or exam. That's a thought. It's a cognition. But if you think for a while, why, what, how, what will happen, that's called as metacognition. So I have designed some strategies to handle problem. Commonly, which came from the research, is that commonly used strategies by the teachers are either you stand you out, take to the principal, punish them. These are the commonly used strategies by the teachers to handle problem behavior. Like just now, somebody was making noise. Fine, here it was in classroom. I have designed some strategies which can be used in a classroom, which can handle problem behavior better way. So why I shared this is that now here you will be engaged in a lot of problem behavior. Now problem behavior is what teacher is teaching. You are doing some nonsense things. You are doing these other things, other stuffs, getting out of the chairs, making shouting, doing this, stealing. All these problem behaviors still exist even in higher secondary. So we need to think about all these things to be a better person. So probably these are not just what I'm saying, these are not just some talks, these are research based facts. So you will also encounter the problem behavior which you can try to resolve in terms of lot of peer influence, lot of group activities, lot of or team activities, and I think NSS would be a platform that would give an opportunity to come together and learn. Before I wind up, I'll just share a small story with you, and then we'll close for today's session because I think it's almost time up. So I can talk to you for hours and hours. I don't mind. I know there's a limitation also for anything. I'll just share a small story. I don't know how many of you have read the book, but I have read that book 5 times. You have heard book called You Can Win. You Can Win. There's a book called You Can Win. I'm not promoting that book, but I read that book, and there are 2 books which I like the most till today when I'm talking about books. One is You Can Win, and then another book is 7 Habits of Highly Effective People. You must read these 2 books. If you get a chance to read, you read it whenever you have time. So this story is from that book, You Can Win by Shiv. Okay, what is the story? There was a small village, and the village there was a very old school, village school, and just outside the school there was a compound wall, and beside the compound there was a balloon seller. So balloon seller, what used to do? used to sell balloons, colorful balloons. Whenever there was no one to buy the balloon during recess time, he used to release colorful balloons in the air. Looking at that, all these kids, children, they used to run to him, buy those balloons. Buy those balloons, and that is how he used to do. One day, small little kid goes to him and asks a simple question to that old balloon seller. The question was this. He says, "Uncle, I have seen you releasing all these colorful balloons. I have seen different colors, but I have never seen you releasing black color balloon." So, question was, will that balloon, if it is black, will go so high like other colored balloons, or not? That was the question asked by this little kid to that balloon seller. So he was little surprised and he paused for a moment. He answered, "It is not the color of the balloon that will decide whether it will go high or not. It is what is that inside the balloon that will decide whether it will go high or not." What does it mean? How does it apply to us? It is not from where you come from, which religion you come from, which caste you come from, which community you come from, which area you come from, what you do, whether your financial status is good or not. Immaterial. What will make you a better person or successful person is what is there inside you. And inside you does not mean what are your body parts. Inside is not what is there inside you is not the structural of you. Inside is your attitude, your aptitude, your behavioral output, your vision, your willpower, how you behave in the society. Everything as a person, a character. Now people have misconception regarding character. Character is not one word for you, like kids and school children. We say, "No, he is a characterless person." What does it mean? Character is not one single entity. It is not one single thought process. Character is an individual itself. Character does not talk about a single component. Character defines you as a whole personality. So you need to have better character. Character in terms of all dimensions of human personality. So with this, I really am thankful to the institution, the principal, my very close friend, and we should discuss a lot when we during the weird times. Sharan sir and I should discuss a lot about lot of things. So I am thankful to Sharan sir, my dear student, and now very good teacher, Teacher Gitali. She was very active during her course time. So I am thankful to the entire student who thought of calling me here to just have some words with you. Life is all about obstacles. Life is all about, there will not be smooth journey. It is all about overcoming these obstacles. Winners don't do different things, but they do it differently. You get what I mean? Winners don't do different things, but they do it differently. If two children or two students are going towards same goal, who will win is the one who is doing differently. If both are doing same thing, probably they'll end up at the same time, no winner. So you do something which is different than the other person. Now what is that different? Different does not mean wrong. Different which is moral, which is correct, which is right, accepted in the society, and be good human being. I always will end up saying this, you be good human being. You may not be a billionaire, whoever you, but be good human being, and that is what you will get to learn in your NSS course. So wish you all best of luck. Do well in your academics, aim high, think beyond your imagination, think beyond your limitations, and that only will lead to achieve something. Okay? If you want to become a civil servant tomorrow, you want to become a collector, you want to become an IAS officer, IPS officer, start studying today. Start studying right now, not after graduation. Suppose somebody wants to become an IAS officer, IPS officer, or otherwise, civil service, you want to be a civil servant, then you have to learn today. Start reading about it and grow gradually in terms of your achievement. Okay? If you want to ask me something, maybe I don't mind to answer one or two questions or few questions. If you have to ask something, you are free to ask me. This opportunity I am giving you for just 2 minutes. If you want to ask me something, anything in your mind, one or two questions, you are free to ask me literally anything. I would happy to answer some queries if it remains in your mind. Since I have come, I always believe in interaction. So if there are here and there one or two questions, I would be happy to answer your questions. If there remains something which you want me to ask or answer, please ask. And then we'll wind up. There are two possibilities. When there are no questions, there are two possibilities. Either you don't understand anything or you understand everything. I should take second one. I don't know. So there are two possibilities. No questions, nothing to ask. Anybody is having any wildest thought to ask about your career journey, about your otherwise, anything? Or anything which disturbs you during your academic career? No? Very good students. I believe that all of you are perfect in terms of your thinking process. Anyways, if there are no questions to ask, you want to ask something? So, I think I am winding up my session. Thank you so much. God bless you all and have a great day. Thank you.